Alright, look man, listen up. Before I begin this video, I want to say that my face is swollen. Like, it looks like I just got my wisdom teeth taken out type swollen. And I'm just ready for some idiot hater to like say some dumb shit. I'm ready for some bullshit to happen, for somebody to say some dumb shit. So I'm going to prevent it right now by addressing it. My face is swollen from derma fillers. And I had an adverse reaction due to the active ingredients that I'm using for my skincare. And I'll make a separate video on that like later. But I just wanted to address that just in case y'all were thinking, oh, he looks a little different. Trust me, I know. Spoke with my doctor. We are working on it. Got some corticosteroids on deck to help out with the swelling. But like, what's more important about this video is like what I'm telling you guys. And I really feel like this video will help out a lot of people and is very informative. So yeah, if you could just like not say some dumb shit, that'd be cool. And just like pay attention to like what I'm saying, because I really feel like I'm giving like a lot of useful information in this video. So yeah, also I had to make this video for a company within a week, so I couldn't even wait for like the swelling to go down. And yeah, man, just trying to keep it real. But I'll make a video on this separately. But yeah, man, enjoy the video. What's up, you guys? It's your boy Prettyboyfloyd, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to give you guys some pointers. I'm going to show you guys some mistakes that I made along my journey, and also I'm going to give you guys the sauce, man. You guys have to have the mindset. You know, you got to have the mindset in order to start a YouTube channel. So that's the most important thing. And I want to touch on my first video that I made on my YouTube channel. If you go down to my very first video that I made on my YouTube channel, it was like how to get curly hair, you know, or whatever, like for men. When I made that video, it was like 6 or 7 years ago now. When I first made that video, I was very nervous, but I also didn't think anything of it. Like when I first made it, it was just for the sole purpose of like, hey, I found out this new thing that like, you know, people can do in order to get curly hair. And I remember when I was recording it, I was like super nervous. I didn't have the best setup. I didn't have the best camera. I filmed it with like an iPhone 5. With a desk lamp in front of like a TV, and that was like on New Year's Day or like the day after New Year's. I just remember it was like a New Year thing that I wanted to do. And yeah, man, so I did that, and like the next morning, man, it had a staggering 100 views on it. Just like, I was like, whoa. Like back then I just thought like 100 views was just like, yo, that's actually a lot, you know. And I was just, honestly, you know, of course, in like retrospect, of course, 100 views is like nothing, you know, on YouTube. But to me, I was like, oh shit, that's a lot of views. And I remember like before, that was in like my very first video. Like my very first video was like me like doing like a ollie, like on a skateboard or whatever. And it had like 20 views and one comment that said faggot. So, that was like my first official YouTube video or whatever. So to me, 100 views was a lot. And I remember one day in school, it was like a month after I posted it, somebody was like, yo, are you that guy who makes like curly hair videos on YouTube? I'm like, huh? You know, and it's weird, you know, it's the first video ever, and I'm just like, what you mean? And then he was just like, I saw like you were doing something. I don't know, maybe it wasn't you, maybe it was a guy that looked like you, but somebody, but you know, he's doing like something like braids or whatever, like with your curly hair. And I was just like, oh, huh, you know. And I was just like, damn, wait a minute, like that thing only had like 100 views on it, like what's going on? And you know, I went back home and I saw that it had like 26,000 views, and I was like, whoa, like I was like, it just baffled me that like, you know, I was just doing something, you know, just like out of the purity of it, and just like, you know, just wanting to make videos just cause and just for fun. I mean, of course, it was always that thing in my head like, yo, what if I'm like, you know, YouTube famous, or like, you know, what if I get like a lot of subscribers and a lot of views? Of course, that was, you know, something in my head, but I didn't think that it would happen that quick. And you know, sometimes the universe, or God, you know, I'm just gonna say God. Like sometimes I'll say the universe, sometimes I'll say God, but just know like when I say God, It's whatever you believe in. There's no such thing as beginner's luck. You know, I feel like that's God's way of telling you, like, this is like what's kind of like meant for you, and what would be like the path of least resistance. Not of like least resistance in a way that, like, you know, it makes hard work like, you know, obsolete, or like, you know, hard work is not required when going on this path. But I think genetics and luck can facilitate where you need to go, and it can give you some sense of direction on where you need to go. Not saying if you do not have beginner's luck, you know, the first time that you do something, or if you're not really good at something, you know, you shouldn't continue to do it. It was a good thing that I read this book back in high school, and it was like during high school. I was like 18 years old when this first video popped off, and I was in high school. I was like 18, and it was a good thing that I read this book called The Alchemist. And in The Alchemist, it said there's no such thing as beginner's luck. It's the universe's way of telling you that this is the right path that you need to go. So back then, that's how I received it. It was like, whoa, this thing is having like a lot of views on it. Maybe I should take this YouTube thing seriously. And now, going back to the beginner's luck thing, just because your first video or first few videos don't pop off on YouTube does not mean this is not meant for you or something like that. I think that's dumb, because hard work will beat natural talent any time of the day. And I don't necessarily like think that that I was like lucky in a way, but I think it was just the intent of just trying to help others out. And the meaning behind that video, it was just like, yo, I found this new thing. I think it would help a lot of people out. And I did that. And what do you know? It did help a lot of people out. And I'm pretty sure like I was the first one. And, you know, this is kind of cringy, but I don't want to say like I'm the first ever. Like I'm the first one to ever do this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm probably the first one to do braid out videos like for men. Like back in the day, it was like 7 years ago, and I think it was such like a new thing. Okay, maybe I need to take the thing more seriously, and you know, so I did. And you know, I just kept on uploading videos. And in the beginning stages, you know, you're always taught like as a YouTuber, like don't change your topic, like don't change like what you're talking about and stuff like that, because YouTube algorithm and all this other like bullshit. I was just like, all right, cool. So I just kept on, you know, making hair videos and shit like that, and you know, it was cool, and I was getting a good amount of views on it. But deep down inside, I knew that like I could bring more to the table. I knew there was more to Floyd than just my hair. And it just felt like every time that I was like uploading a video, even back then, like even though like they did not look that good, you know what I'm saying, as they do right now, and like the equipment that I have right now, they didn't look that good. The editing wasn't that good. The quality was shitty. Like everything was just bad. You know what I'm saying? Like the beginning stages as you're growing as an artist, but still it was just getting like a good amount of views. And I was just like, oh shit, like this is really like, you know, this is like really like about to pop off, and I can really like go somewhere with this. And then once I made the decision, like, well, like I don't want people to just know me for hair, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want people to just know me for like my hair videos. So like I started uploading quote unquote more like different videos, and of course this received like a lot of hate, because you know like I'm trying to incorporate like other like beauty and like skincare and fashion and all this other shit that like a straight black man isn't, you know, supposed to do. But I did that shit anyways, because if I kept on playing the game of just making hair videos, I would just get rich and stop trying. Like I would just do it for the money, and it would just feel like another job. It would just, you know, I would almost have to like force myself to make hair videos, because like it was just like there's not so much you could fucking do. Like I would literally drop hair videos and it would just be with different products and like come out with the same result. Like, and it was just like, oh shit, like yo, your hair's so sweet. And it's just like, yo, like why the fuck, you know what I'm saying? I mean, as the saying goes, I guess, like give people what they want to be rich. Like if you want to be rich, like give people what they want, not what they need, type thing. But to me, it just didn't feel right. Like, it just didn't feel like it was coming from the right place if I was just to keep on making like one type of video, knowing that there's more to Floyd than just his hair. Like, I want people to subscribe to Floyd for Elijah and not subscribe to Floyd for Floyd's hair, if that makes any sense. It'll make sense. It better make sense. But I had two options. Number one, keep making hair videos, you know, and not show people who I really am, and have these low quality viewers who are only subscribed to my hair, and possibly make a lot of money, even though I'm doing something that I'll probably get bored of. And you know, even though I make a lot of money, I think eventually I would get rich and stop trying. So option number two was be my true and authentic self. Even if people don't like me, eventually I will gather an audience of high quality viewers and people who like Floyd for Elijah, and not people who just like Floyd for Floyd's hair. And you know, that's how I gathered like these low quality viewers and these low quality subscribers, because you know, when people subscribe and how I get the most amount of views was from my hair. And once I started to do different shit, you know, of course, a lot of those people weren't open-minded. Of course, a lot of those people weren't, you know, with what I was doing or with what I am doing. And so, you know, you don't get that much, you know, views. So here's the thing. You can either go one way or the other. Either you can start off YouTube, you know, and being your true and authentic self, and you know, slowly gather views that way by putting out different topics and showing you for you. Or you can do something that's going to get a lot of views, but it'll be a short-term fix for, you know, this long-term problem that you will be facing internally, which is that like you will be fighting against expressing yourself fully. So like, yeah, I'll just keep on uploading hair videos, but I won't be, you know, happy. Like, I'll be stuck in a rat race. Like, I'm trying to get out of the 9 to 5, and I'm trying to get out of the stress, and I'm trying to get out of that slavery mentality where like I have to work in order to get money. Not saying that like work, like I don't want to work, but you know what I'm saying, like meaningful and purposeful work, you know, and really touch people's lives on a deeper level. And I can't really do that if I'm just stuck in a box, you know what I'm saying? Be known as Can2 Dude. So yeah, man, that's the first advice that I have to give to you guys, is that do not get discouraged if your views are very low in the beginning, because you should always trust progress that is slow over progress that is fast. Because like good things come slow, bad things come in a rush, you know. And like if you had something like that, like if you just go viral overnight, and which I didn't, I think that video like accumulated like 500,000 views in like probably like a course of like 6 months, and now it's at like 700,000 views. It might be near like 800,000 views now. But so like if you're starting a YouTube channel, man, keep uploading. Like, it's not about like do not get discouraged every time that you upload it doesn't blow up. Like, YouTube has this funny thing where like you will upload a really good video and you know it's good, but like it won't have that many views. But like months later, for some weird reason, YouTube will like push it, and then like you'll like that video will just start gaining traction or whatever. And so sometimes you'll be looking at like somebody else who like popped off on YouTube in like a year, like in under a year or so, like that, and they'll make videos like, how did I gain 100,000 subscribers in like 6 months or like 3 months or like a year, or, you know, shit like that. And it's just like, don't get discouraged, because when you go the slower route and when things take time, you build character. Say like when you do like, or like those people that do pop off in a short amount of time, it's not about making it, it's about maintenance. Those people that pop off in a short time, you know, I'm not going to say that they don't deserve it, but some people don't really know how to handle that, and some people don't know how to maintain that. It's not about making it, it's about maintenance. So if, say like those people decide to switch up their content like me or whatever, they're going to see their views start to plummet. And once they see their views start to plummet, now they're stuck in that rat race again, where they're just like, oh my gosh, well, the only way I'm going to get views is if I upload this certain type of video. And if they would have started off, you know, in the beginning, you know, as like, hey, this is me, this is what my channel's about, this is what you need to subscribe to this channel for type thing, they wouldn't really see those views plummet. And then you don't know how to handle that for real. Like if you have like 100,000 subscribers or like a really big audience, you wouldn't know how to maintain that. So you know, so this is for the people who are just starting out, to not get discouraged by the views in the beginning. It's not about that, man. And you might be looking at the guy who has like 100,000 subscribers and they got it in like under a year or something like that. The grass is not always greener. You think the grass is greener on the other side until you realize it's fertilized with the same shit. Like, you have to respect the path that you're given. It could be really fast or it could be slow, but either way, you need to realize like that your life purpose isn't supposed to feel stressed out, and it's not supposed to feel like work. You know what I mean? So be in this thing for the right reasons and have pure intentions when it comes to this. So what I mean, like, by having pure intentions when it comes to this, don't just do it for the purely for the social validation, the status, or, you know, the money, because these are very like low value meanings. Like it doesn't come from a pure place whenever you do something for money or for status, but it comes from a pure place when you do something out of love and out of service. So like when I make videos, I do it to service of others, and I do it to give back to my community. So the second thing that I have to give to you guys is to always improve yourself. There's always room for improvement. Always look for like places where you lack. You know, have that mindset like a cleaner. Like, what did I do wrong? And, you know, you're in the big leagues now. You know, you have to like kind of put yourself in that. Like, all right, this isn't like we just not playing around in the playground. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not in the backyard playing football. Like, we're in the league now. So you need to play like it. And you need to study film, like figuratively and literally. You need to study it, because you need to study your own film. You need to see where you lack at, and you need to study other people's film, and you need to see how they move as well. So you need to look at other people's like lighting setup. You need to look at other people's cameras. You know, you need to look at how other people think too. So when it comes to doing stuff like this, I'm not telling you to copy somebody, but I am telling you to emulate somebody. And you're not really going to know how to emulate until you imitate at first. So it's not a bad thing to copy people. Like, it's not. But what I think is bad is that you think, but what I think is bad about copying people or imitating people is like when you think that you can make a career out of imitating people or copying people. The purpose of imitating something is to find yourself in it. There's no creation without imitation first. So, like, when it comes to music, you think that a piano player just like kind of, you know, just like sits down and like had this vision last night and dreamt of this shit, or had like some near-death experience where he heard like this piece in his dream and then he just starts playing the piano? Like, no. Like, no, like things like that, they come from years of practicing formally, or like doing things that like imitate other like piano pieces. Like, you have to imitate before you create. When it comes to music, like, you do a lot of cover shit like in the beginning. Like, you just copy songs, and that's how you learn to play. Like, you listen to like, you know, the stuff that was made before you listen to like classical, like whatever you're interested in, you learn how to play it at first, and then you can start making up your own shit. But you don't just start making up your own shit in the beginning. Like, you just don't start making up songs in the beginning. Like, no, you have to imitate first. You have to imitate before you create. A very good book that you guys should read is Steal Like an Artist. Every artist steals. Nobody's original. No human is original. Nobody's a fucking alien. The only thing is that it's just undetected plagiarism. Like, that's all everything is like in art. You see, there's a good quote from this book. It's that a bad artist steals from one source, and he's seen as a fraud, and he's seen as a phony, he's seen as an imposter, an impersonator. But a good artist steals from hundreds of sources. You see, it's a mashup you know, and that's what makes it uniquely yours. Like, you pick from things and you gather things from different sources. So the third tip is, do not try to reinvent the wheel. Just put rims on it. There is nothing new under the sun. Like, everything that's been thought of has been thought of. Every problem that has been made, somebody has wrote a book about. Like, if there is any problem out there, there is nobody in the world who hasn't experienced what you've experienced and wrote a book about it. So when it comes to like not reinventing the wheel and just putting rims on it, so let me elaborate on this point a little bit. Before there was Apple, there was IBM. And before there was Facebook, there was MySpace. And like, you can even see it today, how like Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, Vine, they all like take things from each other. You know what I'm saying? And kind of try to implement it into their app. When it came to like Mark Zuckerberg, you know what I'm saying? He didn't come up with the idea like it wasn't an original idea. He just built onto something that was already there. Do not try to reinvent the wheel. Put rims on that joint. So with me, when it came to my first video, you think that was the first braid out video for curly hair? No. But it was probably one of the first ones to be for men. The only thing I did different was that a guy was doing it. And that's what, you know, gained so much traction. A lot of people were just putting, you know, conditioner in their hair and cream and shit. But instead I went the extra mile, saw this video that this girl had made, and I was just like, yo, I wonder if that works for guys too. Duh. You know, so that's how I just implemented my own unique self into that video, and that's probably why it did so well, because it was so different. But again, it wasn't different, you know. Nothing's original. Stop trying so hard to be original. You know, have this idea. Okay, cool. Yeah, you have this idea, and try to look for inspiration for like, okay, has anybody else done this thing? And not saying, you know, like for it to be, you know, like, I guess, like, acceptable or whatever, but, like, think to yourself, like, like, how else can I build on top of this idea? And there's probably, like, somebody who has probably done it before you, and whatever idea that you have could possibly make it better. Ironically, sometimes when you try to do something new, or when you try to build on top of something new, a lot of times you might fuck up. And a lot of times you might think that you messed up. You could turn that mess up into like a new invention. And, you know, in the great words of Bob Ross, it could be a happy accident. You know, and a lot of the great inventions today were made by accident. Like Coca-Cola was made by accident. That was like, it was supposed to be a treatment for people who had opioid addiction. So it would mix cocaine with like something else, and that's how he like made the invention or whatever. You can look it up. Botox, fucking what else? X-rays, chewing gum, popsicles, the powder puff girls. Like, there's a lot of happy accidents that like become really good inventions. So like, whenever you're looking up to somebody, just realize that like what they're, and this is why today you'll see like a lot of people coming at somebody being like, oh, he took that idea from so-and-so, or oh, you got that idea from so-and-so, or like when you listen to like shit on the radio, like, have you ever like listened to shit on the radio and like your parents are like, that's not his beat, that's not his song, that's not, you know, that's so-and-so's song, he's just copying that, he's just blah blah blah, it's just that blah blah. In music, a lot of times people will sample things, but then they will make it better. They will twist it and make it better. And like, that's what we are meant to do. Yeah, so like when it came to my video, like, you guys think that like it was like super like original or something like that, or like I had like some near-death experience that like told me like, hey, like make like this curly hair video, you know what I'm saying? And like no, it's not like that. Like, I'm a human, we're all humans, like nobody's an alien, like we all have the same brain that has like my fucking, like the anatomical structures in my brain are not any different from your anatomical structures. Like, we're just not original, and we're meant to make things better. So what I'm doing is like, I'm giving you guys the mindset, and I'm trying to give you guys tips to emulate me. So like, I'm giving you guys a recipe, like, cool, make it, copy me, like, read the recipe, like from like step 1 to 2 to 3, like read it, make it, And once you make it, and once you know, you see what I created, or like, you know, you eat my recipe or whatever, like, yo, okay, cool. Now make it better. Like, add some salt to that joint. Like, add some sugar. Like, add a little bit of something to it that you know, like, this needs a little bit more, you know, pepper. Like, this needs a little bit more salt and pepper. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're cooking, like, when you make something, it's just like, all right, yeah, this is good, but I can make it better. It's the same fucking shit. Like, when it comes to the culinary art, like, bro, like, this is all, like, art, bro. So, like, don't get too caught up in trying to be too original. Because if you get caught up in trying to be too original, or, like, trying to, like, be so original that, like, nobody's gonna, like, try to, like, you know, like, say some shit or things like that. A lot of times when you try to be too original, you have no sense of direction. You're in the dark, and like, your art usually doesn't come out looking that good. Just because, like, you know, it's all up in here. It's all up in here, and like, what's in here can look way different out there. Like, so you need to have some sense of reality when you are making something. So like, say you have an idea for something, okay, cool. Go on Pinterest or go on YouTube and try to create a swipe file in an archive of like what you're trying to make, and see how you can mash it up into something that. But again, bro, like, this video is about teaching you about the mindset. I'm just trying to take pieces from my journey and trying to make sense of it. So yeah, man, what gets me mad is when influencers get mad that they influence somebody. I've seen people, you know, like, and I can see it, like, some people have like copied like some of my videos or whatever, but I don't even care. Like, I really don't. Like, I honestly, like, I think it's flattering, even if you don't like credit me, like, you know, or like, even if you don't do anything like that, or like I don't care. Like, I don't get mad at that, because I know that wasn't my idea in the first place. Like, how selfish is that? Alright, so when it comes to like giving credit, of course, I'm not saying like don't give credit to people, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like don't, you know, like when you do something and like try to imitate somebody and like you post it or whatever. If you know, like, of course give credit, you know what I'm saying? But also, like, when you're an influencer and like when somebody doesn't give you credit, don't get mad. Like, you influence somebody, that's why you're called an influencer. The only way that something's going to seem original to somebody, or the only way that somebody's going to say, oh my gosh, this is so original, is if, number one, they've never seen, you know, this source of inspiration before, or that you've presented it in such a different way. And that's just how the world works. That's how your brain works. That's how humans work. So, like, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just put rims on that bitch. So yeah, man, this goes for like all your favorite like musicians, or like film directors, or YouTubers, or artists. Like, anybody that you look up to creatively is like, they're not like, bro, I'm trying to like put this the best way I can. They have not had like some other like worldly entity come into their life, you know, like they've seen this apparition of something and like they've told them to do this, or they you know, had like this, even people who have near-death experiences, like, you can see where the inspiration like comes from. Like, it's not otherworldly, like it's still like earthly. Like, so like, do not stress on being so fucking original. The thing is, like, cool, you have an idea, gather some inspiration from different sources. Even like if you're doing something like for like a photo shoot, it's like, all right, like one inspiration, like of course somebody could probably like trace that back, you know, like looking at your clothes, or looking at you know, the backdrop, or looking at like the setting of the thing, and you know, things like that. So like with photo shoots, what I've come to learn is that like you shouldn't take inspo from like one source, but you should take it from many sources. So even some photo shoot ideas will come from movies. So instead of gathering inspiration from like where other people gather inspiration from, like, okay, they probably, like, everybody looks at magazines, or they say like celebrities, and try to gather inspo from that. But if you take shit from different sources, you mash stuff up in such a different way. So like, for example, like one of the creators who created like Jordans, I remember watching his documentary. You know, he would take inspo from like other like sneakers and stuff like that, but then he began to like travel, and then he started seeing inspiration in like architecture and buildings. So like, go outside of your medium for a little bit in order to gather inspiration that might seem more original. So the last thing I want to touch on is trust the what, find your why, fuck the when, and you'll know how. So keep playing the game, man. Play by play, game by game, pass by pass. Just keep playing the game. Fuck what's on the scoreboard. Do the best that you can right now, and keep practicing and keep getting better at what you're doing. Just play and just focus on having fun. Trust the what? Trust that this is your purpose. Trust, that God is saying hey, I built you for this. Trust the what? Trust him, and he will find out how. You know what I'm saying? So if you trust in God and you trust in your path and you stay focused, you don't necessarily have to wonder oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to execute this? If you have the intention of doing something, and if you listen really closely, and if you're tuned in, to the right frequency, and if you can just listen a little bit and see all the messages around you, you can figure out how. So a lot of people get at me and, a lot of people will ask oh my gosh, I want to make a YouTube channel. I just don't know what to do it on, or how, what if I run out of ideas? If this is you, and if you trust your purpose, you're not going to run out of ideas. I let go of that because I know that so I remember listening to the speech that Matthew McConaughey gave, and he was talking about the best snipers in the world, they shoot beyond the target. They shoot through the target. And he also mentioned how Bo Jackson would run through the end zone and into the tunnel. And that also got me thinking about Forrest Gump, how he would just run, and run through the tunnels, and he just kept on running, and eventually the cheerleaders had to stop him. But it just had me thinking about Forrest Gump and shit like that. But even when you watch Forrest Gump, the premise of that video was just he just kept on running and just didn't care that it was getting news coverage, and he was becoming this big thing for running across the country nonstop. He just did it because something told him to do it, he just kept doing it. And that's how it should be when you're working and with life. It's just don't worry about the scoreboard. Don't worry about if you're winning or not. Just know that you're doing your job, and just know that you're doing the best at your job, and just keep going at it and just maintain focus. Because a lot of times when you look up and you look at the scoreboard, or if the crowd is cheering, you lose focus and you start getting in your own way. So when it comes to YouTube, just upload, dog, and just keep uploading. I remember it was a couple of weeks ago, I was visiting my friend Lull. If you guys don't know Lull Show, I'll link his YouTube channel right here, and it's in the description too. But we had to talking, and he just started uploading inspirational videos and motivational videos that he posted on Instagram, and one of them had really good traction on it and started gaining a good amount of views. And he came up to us and he was just man, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I don't feel right about making these videos, making these inspirational, motivational videos, because I don't I feel low-key evil. And I was, and the way he said it and the way he pitched it, it was just what? But as we dug deeper, and as we started to find the root of the problem, and it was just that it wasn't coming from he was saying it didn't come from a pure place. When he would upload, he would look for views, and because the the videos that he's posting now, he says they weren't getting as many views and or as much attention as the first one was. And when you see the likes and the comments and the views and things like that, it gives you this high. It gives you this dopamine hit of all this social validation and this applause and stuff. And this is when you start to figure out social media is really a drug, and it's really attacking a dopamine. If you don't believe me, man, just look at yourself. When it comes Instagram and social media on your phone, you're opening that shit up it's second nature. It's every 10 minutes, you're opening up, seeing if you get a new notification. And a lot of times when you open it up and you see that you don't get a new notification, it's almost as if it puts a damper on your day. Damn, I don't feel important right now. And I feel a lot of times when you
keep looking up like how many views is it getting, how many, you know, looking at something day to day when really the changes don't happen that fast. Like something can get better little by little each day. Like your video can get like 10 views a day and you think that that's nothing, but like 10 times 365 is what? Like that's like 3,000 and something views in a year. So if you keep on doing this and you keep on looking at shit day to day, you're gonna get like down on yourself. You're gonna be like, oh man, it's only up 10 views. Like nah, dude, like don't, like, you're gonna get in the way when you do that. And the reason why I say that is because then you start thinking about like, oh man, maybe I should be doing something different. Like back to the person who may have gotten the 100,000 subscribers super quick, or may have had like a whole bunch of views like really quick. He's starting to think like, oh man, like I'm not getting that many views. Maybe I need to switch it up. Maybe I need you know, to do something to get people to like me more. And boom, right there. Like you're trying to do some shit that like you're not being true to yourself. Be true to yourself no matter what anybody says. Just keep on doing you and just have faith that God will bring the right people into your life, and have faith that you will attract that dream audience that you want. Because it's not about the numbers, man. It's quality over quantity. Cool, you have 100,000 subscribers, but like how many of those people really like you for you? And you know, and back to Lull's you know, scenario, and back to his problem, he was just like, man, I just like he was just, I like, it doesn't feel as pure as it first did. You know, like when you first made something, like it came from a really pure place, like to help people out, and then it sort of turns into this thing where, oh shit, I can monetize this. You know, like, oh, if I get a whole bunch of attention, because in this day and age, bro, attention is currency. Like it's just like the more attention you have, the more followers, like the more money you're gonna have, and it's all these materialistic things that come into play now. When at first, when you made videos, it was just like, I just want to do this because it's fun, you know? And, you know, you want to break out that rat race. And like I said, you want to do this for fun, and you want to do this for the love of the game, you know, and just play. But like once you start adding in like these materialistic things, it can create stress again. Like it can feel like another job again. And you don't want that to happen. So my solution for this dilemma was that I was just like, well, maybe when you post something, just put your phone down. Like what I started to do during that time, I'm gonna tell you guys like another solution. But what I started to do was like when I would post something, I would typically do it at nighttime. So I would just go to bed. So like I wouldn't be on my phone for hours. If I was to post something like first thing in the morning, you best believe I would open up my phone like every 10 minutes and see somebody put a new comment. How many likes does it have now? How many, you know, somebody say something. And it's that primal instinct in your brain for like social validation. And it's that primal instinct that wants to be part of a tribe that starts to get activated. And like, it's such, and it's a thing that can cause depression when you don't see enough of it, or when you've seen how good it can get, and then now every day that it's not as good as it was, it's almost as if now like reality is depressing, and like that one high that you had of like having like a whole bunch of views and a whole bunch of likes, like that shit, like it's now like you're not gonna be happy anymore until you get back up to that high. Like it's a weird dopamine, like it's weird, man. Like but you know, I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm just gonna get lost. You know, I'm just gonna create this thing and I'm gonna get lost in it. But basically that's what I would do. And I actually do that with a lot of things too. Like even when it comes to like if I'm texting a shawty that like I really like or whatever, what I would do is like say they might be taking like forever to text or whatever, or like they might take like 30 minutes to an hour to text, or like they might, you know, take longer than they usually do. What I'll do is like I will set my phone down, like I will literally hide it from myself. I will like put it in my room, go downstairs and work in my studio for like an hour, hour and a half or so, or an hour or two, and then come back to it, and they'll probably text me. But it was just like I needed to like stop being so tethered to my phone, and every time that I would open up my phone and not see that somebody like text, or like not see that like she had texted me, it would get me down. Like I would be like, damn, like did I fuck up? You know, and it would put you in a state of mind that's like because you want that dopamine high, like you want that, you know, you're trying to seek happiness, and for right now, like this is where like you're seeking happiness at. So you have to kind of like learn with the social media thing and with a lot of other things that like you have to know what's good for your mental health. So my solution was to, hey man, maybe you should, you know, like if it gets too much, like maybe you could even like have like a social media phone, like a separate phone, like have like two phones, like one personal one that has like cellular device, and then another one that has like Wi-Fi, you know, that you just leave at home. And he was just like, damn, that's actually a really good idea. That might actually be the best solution for it. And you know, it's just like this is what's crazy about it. And I'm trying to you know, stay on track here. But what's crazy about it is like this is how you know God will give you green lights and tell you that you're on the right path or that you're on to something. About 2 weeks after that conversation, I received an email from a company in New York, which makes it just like mind blowing. But they were like, "Hey Richard," and that's like the name that I used to go by was Richard Nightguard. If you know Richard Nightguard and you know what show that's from, you're OG. We're automatically best friends. But they were like, "Hey Richard Nightguard, we really love your videos, and we're a company out in New York, and we sell used iPhones, and we want to send you one for free." And I was, you know, at first when I get those types of emails, I'm just like, this is probably, you know, like, is this for real? You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, yeah, of course. You know, of course I said, yeah, of course. Like, yeah. And they're just like, okay, which one do you want? I was just like, send me the iPhone 7, you know, 128 gigabyte. You know, and they're like, okay, cool. We'll send you tracking info when it's ready, and we'll let you know when it's on the way. I shit you not, bro. The next day, I heard the door knocking. I swore that mailman threw the fucking package at the door. But I received, I'll show you, man. So this right here is my red iPhone 7. I got this from a company named Popsy. They're in New York. Their website will be linked down in the description below. But this right here, man, your boy is official, bro. Like, these guys sell used iPhones. I believe this one was about $200, but there are used iPhones. They don't come with cellular device, but they're pretty cheap iPhones. And if you guys are looking for an iPhone, or if you guys are looking for a social media phone, Popsy is a great website to go to. So that will be linked down in the description below. But now back to the video. Yeah, man, this just goes to tell you that, like, yo, like, God will give you green lights, and whoever you believe in, you know, the universe and the higher power, or whoever is watching over you, they don't work against you, and like things don't happen to you, they happen for you. So sometimes like you might be thinking like, why is this happening? Like this isn't going so good. Like this isn't going as planned. Remember, you have nothing. When we make plans, God laughs, because we're not in control as much as we think we are. Like, yes, we do have decisions to make on a day-to-day basis. You know, we figure out like the you know, the little things or whatever. But when it comes to like the big picture, like we have no idea what it is, and we don't necessarily know how the path is going to look. But if we maintain focus, and if sometimes when things don't go our way, like we can be like, okay, change our perspectives, and it's just like, how can we solve this? Like, how can we come at a good solution? And like, I mean, it just makes me feel like so official. Like, yo, like your boy's really official right now. Like, this is my work phone. Like, it's crazy. This thing stays at home, and when I'm off to work, and I work 24-hour shifts because I'm a firefighter. So this phone, it stays at home. and like I am away from social media and I can focus on like more important things. And even like when I'm at home, like it stays upstairs, or like it just stays away from me like while I'm doing actual work. Of course, until now, because like I'm, you know, showing you guys it. But yeah, this thing, but yeah, that thing just stays right there, and I just trust the what. Like I just trust the process. I trust my purpose, and I keep on working, you know, at what I need to work at, and I just let God handle, you know, the rest. I let God handle, you know, the right people to come into my life. I let God handle the numbers and, you know, the algorithm and like shit like that. Like I just keep on doing me. And it really helps too, because it's just like, you know, instead of like picking up your phone probably like 100 times a day, like every like 10-15 minutes, like now I pick up my phone maybe like twice a day, you know, and instead it's this nice thing like, oh, okay, I got a few notifications, that's pretty cool. But instead of like opening it up like 100 times, and like out of those 100 times, maybe like 5 times you might have seen like a notification for like a like, and you're like, oh, who liked it, you know, type thing. And you get it more in like, you get it more in like a in a more like sensible and like digestible way. Like it's just like, okay, cool, like that's the end of that. Like I don't need to keep on picking up my phone because it's distracting me. Whenever I'm on Instagram and scrolling, I realize that I'm not working on my purpose, and I realize that I'm distracted, you know, just like scrolling like aimlessly on Instagram when I could be doing something more meaningful. So social media, ironically, can distract you when you're trying to be a social media influencer. So I'm about to leave this video off, and just hope that I changed y'all's mindset, and I hope that I can relieve a lot of stress, and I hope that I can help you guys out on your journey that you're about to embark on. But a lot of times in life, you know, like in the beginning stages, especially when things aren't popping off like they, you know, like you want them to, this is where you have to gather a lot of strength. This is where you have to really put your faith in your purpose and within God, because your purpose and God, you can't see either of them. Like you can't see your future for real, and you can't see, you know, God for real, and you just have to have faith that is there. So in times where things look like they're not going as good, or times where you feel like, you know, like your views are plummeting, or things are like not going as you planned them to, just realize that like sometimes things need to fall apart in order to come together, and things are being pulled, like things behind, like there's a lot of things that go like behind the scenes. Like there's a lot of things that you don't see. Like there are a lot of strings being pulled in your way that you are not aware of. But as long as you maintain focus and you keep on telling yourself like, this is happening for me, not to me, and when you realize that like there's nothing beautiful about being flawless. What kind of movie would it be if like the main character gets everything that he wants like straight off the bat? It'll probably be a very short movie, and you probably wouldn't be on the edge of your seat wondering what's about to happen. So give those angels in heaven a show, and keep pushing, and know that like what you want, like it's going to take some work, and whatever is worth having is going to take a long time, and it's going to take a lot of work and effort. You know, you can look up the hero's journey, where it's like, you know, the hero embarks onto the unknown. You know, he gets away from what he knows, and the only way to know what you know is to get away from what you know. And you know, that's how the story is built. And the only way that you can get onto the other side is when you go into the unknown. The best things in life are on the other side of fear. You do that, and when you push yourself outside of that comfort zone, like you go into places where like you didn't even think were possible. The struggle is what makes this life so beautiful. The struggle and the pain and like what you've come through. Like you're becoming something that people like don't expect of you. You know, so there's nothing beautiful and there's nothing like worth applauding for when something is given to somebody. Just like, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. It's like when somebody's like, nah, man, like I put it into work, like I went in day out, like I fought those demons inside of my head that kept on telling me to, you know, sit in the same place, be like everybody else, you know, be comfortable, you know, stay in homeostasis, like don't go into the unknown. But instead, when you choose to go into the unknown, that's when you start to grow. And humans are weird, man. Like we grow through struggle, we grow through pain, and you're gonna notice that like the struggle is the nutrients that you need to grow in the mucky waters. And if you don't know, like a lotus grows in the muckiest of waters. You do need pain, and I'm not saying to go out and seek pain. I'm not saying to go out and seek trouble. Do not go and try and find trouble. Trouble will find you, trust me. Trouble will find you. But what I am saying is that when you are being a trailblazer, or when you are doing shit that not a lot of people do, and when you are listening to your purpose, and when you're listening to God, it's not an easy path. There's going to be a lot of hard times, but you just have to have faith. You know, you have to gather up that strength when things don't look like they're about to happen, when all signs, you know, point to turning the fuck back, and when all signs point to this isn't going anywhere, or when people are telling you you're going to fail, this isn't going to happen. You have to have that crazy mentality, and you have to have that blind confidence, like, nah, dog, I can see it. It's going to happen. And then once it finally happens, all those people that were like, you know, it's not going to happen, like, you're not going to make any money off of doing that, you're not going to do it, like, you know, all those doubters and haters and shit like that, you're going to start to notice that, like, how fake they actually are. You're going to notice, like, a lot of people are, like, really, like, fake. Like, it's insane how fake, like, people are. Like, you would think that you're in a fucking movie. Like people will literally turn around and be like, yeah, man, like, I knew you could do it, you know, and, you know, just act real fake. So just look out for niggas like that. But that's why, like, just don't even like listen to people, man, because when you show everybody like what you can do, like, you're gonna start to see, like, a lot of people start changing their mind about you. And it sucks because there's only going to be a select few people out there that are going to be like, you know, that are going to really, really be with you, you know, and like really like believe in you like that. And you got to gather up those people and surround yourself with people who are going to, you know, encourage you to keep on doing what you're doing because they believe in you. So that's the gist of it. Minor setbacks, major comebacks. Do what you can control. You can control how consistent you are. You can control to get up in the morning and decide to make a video. You can control, you know, the number of videos that you post. You can control that. You can control, you know, the work that you put into it. So my advice is that, like, if it hasn't popped off yet, or like if things aren't going your way, just keep posting videos. Keep trying to get better at videos and just keep posting them. And do not worry about the amount of views or comments. Just post it and leave it alone. Like, just post and leave it alone. You can, like, you know, do this for, like, say, like a month, or like do this for, like, you know, a prolonged period of time, like 3 months, 6 months, and then come back to it and stuff like that. But for real, man, just keep on posting and stay true to yourself no matter what other people say. You'll start to notice that once you start thinking about what other people will say, that's how you start getting in your own way, and that's how you start manipulating the video into something that, like, it's not meant to be, and it needs to be something that people need to hear. It only takes one video to go viral. It only takes one person to say yes. It only takes one, man. It only takes one video. You'll see this in today too, when you listen to music, like when you listen to artists and rappers, singers, you know, whatever type of fucking musician there is, but like, one song will go viral, one song will get played on the radio nationally, and then that makes you want to check out that artist, and then you'll see that this artist has been making music for years. Like, you're just late. Like, you've been late. And it even happens with, you know, underground musicians too. Like, when they start to gain some traction and when people start sharing them on social media, and you know, you start seeing this person like, dang, who is this guy? Like, you know, then you want to go check him out. What if your first video popped off, and then people are like, dang, who is this guy? I want to check him out. Then they go to your page and there's only one video. You know, you're going to see that these artists have built a discography, and that these artists put in the work in order to, you know, get that hit that they made. And when you look back at, you know, the artist's work, you're going to see like they made like several albums and several songs. And, you know, with those several albums and songs, like if you look up somebody who's recently like popped off, they'll have like, you know, hundreds of songs being made before that hit that you heard on the radio. And it makes you want to check them out even more. And what you'll notice is that, like, yo, they got a lot of hit songs. Like, they got a lot of good music. Like, they make a lot of good music. So that's what you want to feel like too. Like when you make videos, like you want people to like come to your channel and binge watch your videos, you know, or even like see the progress of like of how you've evolved as like a person, and how your videos have evolved as a person from like from the beginning stages, from your first videos to like now. Like, you know, people like to see the progress too. Like people like to see the evolution, because it gives them inspiration that they could do the same thing, that they could get better at what they do. So give your fans what they need, man, and do the world a favor. Be an artist. Nah, fuck. Let me shut up. That's for fucking iCarly. I don't know. You a real one if you know where that's from. But for real, man, like, be your unique self. Like, the world needs you. You know, as cliche as it may sound, you might be, you know, laughing and think that it's corny, but like for real, like you don't know like how much you can change somebody's life doing what you do. You could make fucking candles on Etsy. You could literally change somebody's life. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But hey, if that's your life's purpose, then that's your life's purpose, and it's meaningful work. So yeah, man, when it comes to that, and you know, as you're working towards, you know that one hit, you know, when you strike gold or whatever, you know, having that one video go viral, you know, make sure that you have a good collection of videos for your fans to, you know, binge watch on and enjoy. So yeah, just keep on working, keep on posting. I promise you're gonna strike gold. You're gonna strike gold more than once. Like, you're not just gonna have one viral video. Like, if you keep on working at it, you're gonna keep on, you know, making these videos. And I like to say that those videos that go viral is like you like striking gold. Just keep digging, and then once you strike gold, people are gonna be like, oh shit, like this guy's been working. Oh shit, look at all this other stuff. Like, look at all his photos, look at all his videos. Like, oh shit, like dang. You know, and that's what happens. That's what happens to artists these days. That's what happens to musicians. Do not stop trying, bro. Like, I read this in a book one time. If you hit a rock 99 times and on 100th time it breaks, it's not that 100 hit that broke it. It was the 99 hits that preceded it to break it, made it break. And it's just like, just know that like that one video didn't go viral because of that one video. It's because like you worked towards that one video going viral. Like, you deserve that video going viral. Like I said, just make sure you got a good collection of videos, because me and your fans, we really enjoy you, and we want to see you succeed, and we also want to see where you came from, because that's also enjoyable to see. So yeah, it's been your boy Prettyboyfloyd. I'm out.